What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at the new challenge event, the Cataclysmic Impact Giant Form Clash here. So it seems like this is going to be themed around giant apes and giant forms. So as you can see, like all the enemies that we're going to be facing off against are units that have those giant form capabilities. So I'm assuming that we're going to be facing off against some giant forms and have like basically limited numbers of charges where we can't actually damage the enemy because they're going to be in giant form. So like effectively the game will be using giant form against us. And it sounds like based on the info that they're saying here, that you want to use your giant, confront them with giant form transformations to secure victory so you can't take damage. I imagine those giant form phases are going to be like hitting really hard or something. Obviously, this is the AoE units, or the nuking leads that we can't use, which is actually a really huge hindrance because there are two really good giant form characters right here that we would want to use, right? But we're not going to have the option to. This is, I would say, officially the first time that we are encountering this being a problem for them, right? Because obviously it's been an ancient issue that like none of the nuke leads can be used on teams as opposed to just having their leader skills disabled, so they're just still usable units. They're just straight up banned in the event, and now finally we have two units that would be prime real estate picks here, and we're not going to be able to use them, so that's really unfortunate. Okay, yeah, so that's basically everything, all the little info that we have up front here. Let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at the boss stats. So, first, real quick, we just have to clear it without any support items. And then we also have to clear it with 6 giant form category units. These are the stage 1 missions. So we're just going to be focusing on stage 1 in this video here. So this is what we've got for stage 1. Now, on the first phase of stage 1 here, we're going to have this massive HP self-damaging thing that happens, which is good, because this is going to get our HP low enough to be able to proc giant transformations, so that when we go against this second boss here, we're safe, because these numbers are ridiculous. You are going to absolutely need to be in a giant transformation to survive this, and then I'm assuming what's going to happen is this is going to be a charge count, because there's no way that with this attack stat, this stacking attack stat, and this much HP, with this much defense, with this much DR, like, it would take you a solid 25 turns to get through this. So yeah, there's just no way you're going to survive. I imagine there's charge counts that are just going to then eliminate this fight and bring you on here to the rest. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. So this is the giant form team that we have come up with. It's a collaboration of Baby's team here. Full giant form, since there are lots of giant form units on Battle of Fate, right? And then this support memory is really clutch. This is actually giving us support for all the revenge characters, which happens to be every single unit here except for the Giant Ape Vegeta. And then because we do have a mission to clear with no items, we'll take off the Whis there, and we will just try this out like that. Now, the nice thing is I get to make the declaration right now that the video does not end until we clear stage 1, which is not something I've been able to do over the past couple of recording sessions because of doing red zone attempts and being stuck with, like, the daily limits, right? Whereas this is an unlimited attempt event, so luckily at least we know that we can experiment here as much as we want and end up getting the win. Okay, so Super Saiyan 3 Goku there, we saw is now, with the damage he just took, able to transform into giant. Well, we do have quite a few units on the team that's going to be true for, right? Like, they're low, them being in low HP guarantees the giant transformation. Let me remind myself about his really quick. Yeah, if HP is below 40%, he guaranteed turns into the giant. So, yeah, we're going to be fine there. As long as we're at a really low HP number by the time we get to the next phase of the fight, we'll be fine. Let's see. I don't think Baby's going to be able to do it, because Baby has to come back, where he'll transform into Baby 1, and then when he comes back after that, that's when you could do the giant form for him. So I think the STR Baby is actually the least useful unit for us this time around. So what we're going to do, we'll keep him on rotation here just for damage, but I do want to prioritize having the AGL, Super Saiyan 3 Goku here. I suppose we can heal up a little bit here. This isn't going to be too much of a problem. We are going to get hit with a massive, HP reduction on the next turn here. So I guess we'll just see what that leaves us out. I'm also not 100% sure, like, how much damage we're going to be doing here with Baby and stuff. It is his first turn, and he does need to stack before he's doing a lot. But he also has type advantage, right? So I suppose as long as... Oh... Okay, wait, that's actually really bad. And this is gonna guaranteed crit because it's a pure Saiyan, right? Okay, well, live and learn. Live and learn. We're gonna have to, modify what we're doing here. I think we just took an L because now we're on this major phase and we have not procced any giant form transformations. So that is going to hurt us. Yeah, we're definitely just done here. So let's just go ahead and select some stuff because yeah, it's really not going to matter. It is really not going to matter. There's no humanly possible way that we survive this phase. Okay. So now that we know, we have to go a little bit slower through the first phase of battle so that when we get to the second phase, we can actually be safe here, right? I suppose it's possible we live this turn right here if Baby dodges the super, because we didn't get supered slot 1, and Baby can dodge here. Let's see. Okay, we didn't dodge it, so yeah, then we're donezo. We are donezo. Had we dodged that, we probably could have survived, but then we still would have been in the same boat next turn where we didn't really have a way to, you know, get through that. And in fact, we probably still could have survived because we would have had Super Saiyan 3 Goku, who could then dodge the super for us. So if we'd gotten lucky enough to dodge supers on both sides, then we probably could have that would have been the charges. We would have been done, and then we could have just moved on to the next phase, right? And got the KO without the giant form there. So that does actually seem possible. That's kind of interesting. I wonder if I were to bring just like a full dodge build in here, if we could do it without a single giant form character. Because as long as you dodge for those two stages, those two like phases on the second stage, you're fine. As long as you dodge the super, right? Okay, so because of what we learned this time, we are going to heal nothing. We are going to heal absolutely nothing. That's going to be the name of the game this time. We'll keep the Super Saiyan 3 Goku around so that worst case he could do the giant form for us. Yeah, and then we'll do this. We're going to try and select a few less key spheres than last time. Okay, there we go. Now, AGL Baby is going to get hit, but it is post-super, so hopefully he'll be okay. And we know now that it's only going to be a normal attack he'll be hit with. So yeah, hopefully he'll be alright there. I'm imagining he will be. And even if he takes a little bit more damage, you know, he's not going to take 400k from two normals. At least we hope. At least we hope. And then it looks like the enemy is actually going to survive this first turn this time, which is really, really good. Because he's going to do 40% more damage to us on the next turn. We'll finish him off, and then we will be low enough. We'll have a low enough HP threshold there to proc the giant form transformations on that second phase. And then we will be looking a little bit more solid. Okay, so yeah, obviously there's no helping it with a couple of these units. They are just going to transform at will. So now we're kind of stuck dealing with that on the first phase of battle here, but no problem, because all this does is it solidifies our HP, right? The fact that we went into giant form at the beginning of this phase means that he did not deal an additional 40% damage to us, and we also don't have to worry about potentially healing or taking any more damage this turn. So it really is just a free turn here. Okay, with only 2.3, yeah, I was going to say, we're probably not going to finish things off here. He, I assume, is going to have 2 turns of giant form. So yeah, we're just going to have to kind of wait through that. But that's really, really good, because that means as soon as he's done with the giant form, all of, you know, the enemy's HP is going to be so low, it's probably only going to take our slot 1 attacker to finish things off, and then we'll be able to freely move on to that next phase of the fight. I'm a little bit turned around about what our rotations are at the current moment, just because of the giant form thing. So I'm trying to think who's going to end up being on that second phase. We'll have to wait until we untransform to double check that. Because basically the hope is that we'll be below the HP threshold for one of those units to proc their transformation, right? But we do need that to happen for one of them. So we will see, we will see. And the thing is, if it happens for AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku, that isn't the best because he only transforms for one phase, like one turn, right? Okay, so there's the hit that we were gonna take there. So now we've got 17%. I think we gotta put Baby here. Yeah. Let's put Baby there. We can get a little bit of healing with this guy. And then we'll grab a little bit more healing here, I suppose. Just in case Baby gets hit by a normal, we have a little bit more of a cushion to not get killed. Oh, okay, well, it looks like he's not going to take any damage anyway, so that's fine. Are we even going to do any damage? What the heck? No additional from Baby. We forcibly didn't get the super attack in that last slot, so I really hope that doesn't come back to bite us. We did just stun him, so it's not like we have to worry about taking damage or a KO or anything, but we really, really need to get to that next phase here so that our giant forms transformations can line up properly, right? Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, so we can't do the Super Saiyan 3 Goku one. We have to do the Grade 8 Vegeta. Because the Super Saiyan 3 Goku one, once he transforms to Super Saiyan 4, one of the Super Saiyan 4 Goku's abilities is that he can heal 44% HP if you're below 44%. So then we would heal back too much. We would still have 3 charges left to deal with on this guy, and we would no longer have access to the Grade 8 transformation for Vegeta. So that being considered, we have to do his transformation, so let's do that. And then I think with that, we basically won the fight. Because this right here is going to be all that we need to protect ourselves for these 6 charges. And then we're going to be moving on to that final phase, which, if we are to compare it to the first phase of fight, only has a difference of 10 million HP. And it's 10 million less HP, in fact. It's an even weaker fight. The attack power goes up by... The normal attacks go up by 100k. And everything else is exactly the same. And he's not dealing the damage to us. So yeah, this is going to be completely not lethal. As long as we manage to get through here, you're pretty much a shoo-in for the win already. And we're going to have the Super Baby 1s coming out. So yeah, we're definitely going to be safe. No worries there. This is a very unique fight. This is pretty... I like this. I like this a lot. It's actually really funny. I was just ranting to somebody the other day... who I was talking to Brother Russia, who is a Russian, obviously, content creator and a very valuable community member to the Dokkan space, the leader of the DBZ Discord server that, you know, historically helped out the vast majority of the community with chain battle team lineups because you needed good friends on your friends list, and so all of the big chain battle whales were in that Discord server. They were able to help everybody else out in there, and it has now, since, you know, chain battle is no longer a thing, has kind of turned into more of a like world tournament focused server, and there's like a lot of heavy collectors. I'm in there myself as a link leveler. A lot of people are talking about link level strats and stuff, but anyways, I was talking with Brother Russia about why he has decided and announced that he is eventually going to be quitting the game. And that is big in part because of the direction the game is heading with the style of content, that it seems like all they're doing is just making really hard-hitting fights. You know, there's not like a lot of interesting boss mechanics, not a lot of interesting things you can do with team builds these days, because you just have to load up with all of the biggest tanks and top tier S tier units, or you're not going to be able to survive these fights. And every fight kind of feels the same nowadays. It's just rinse and repeats with different skins, different stat lines, and different team builds. That's different like category restrictions. That's basically it. But what they're doing here is something really, really unique, giving the boss like an immunity phase where you want to match their immunity phase with your own and stuff. This is not really a style of fight that we have seen happen in recent times, so I am pretty excited to see something like this. This definitely shakes up the meta for me. I'm with it, for sure. Okay. Well, I guess now it makes sense to just do the Super Saiyan 3 Goku transformation, right? Kind of no reason not to. Yeah. Let's just do that then. Since we still have it, and it's going to be free, and then allow us to mitigate that super attack wherever it's at, and then we'll definitely be safe after that. It's also going to give us a little bit more damage output for the turn, and then we're going to have a massive amount of defensive support once we go into Super Saiyan 4 Goku, which is just going to make us even more safe on that following turn, right? Alright, well, there we go. We are definitely chilling. Maybe I should have maximized the orbs I grabbed. We were actually doing a lot of damage here. I guess it makes sense because the enemy has like literally no HP, right? No additional there, so he is going to survive this. Okay, so we just got to sit through the little transformation animation, and then this should finish things up for stage 1 here. Okie dokie, and then we get some of that healing back from Super Saiyan 4 Goku. That is perfect. No links between those guys, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and grab these. Okay, and then yeah, Grade 8 Vegeta himself is definitely going to finish this off. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, it looks like we pretty easily could have done this without the support memory that I had attached as well. Really didn't even get close to losing, and we had so much like freedom with the amount of damage we did, right? It wasn't like we were barely peeking through with the damage. Like, we were doing way more than we needed to. So, all right, well, there we go. That was stage 1 cleaned up pretty easily. I don't know exactly what the gimmick is going to be here for this fight, but I guess I'm assuming what based upon what we saw here and what we read is that each stage is going to have a giant form that we have to face off against. So basically we're going to be utilizing like different giant form characters throughout the entire, like every single one of these fights, and then just go giant v giant so we can make sure not to take any damage from those crazy things. But like I said, it's also looking like it's going to be possible to come in here with dodge builds and then just suffer through the charge counts that way. But I imagine that this is going to get harder and harder to the point where, you know, eventually, obviously, this challenge event is designed around the new Dokkan Fest baby, who, as we saw here, is not capable of getting his giant transformation until much later in the fight. So I imagine some of these later stages are going to have the giant form transformation proc way later on and things like that. Maybe it'll be more and more charges that we have to survive of them, that type of thing, right? So remains to be seen, but we will find out. So for now, that is all of the stage 1 missions cleared, so we get a couple of Dragon Stones here. Definitely want to make sure you're running this challenge content because there are lots of Dragon Stones to be given out, right? I think they even advertised on here that there were going to be, what was it, 50 stones given out altogether? Yeah, 50 stones. So quite a lucrative amount of rewards here from this event. Love to see it. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and finish it up here for stage 1. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.